Hello out there. What's going on? I'm so excited to be live. It's always a challenge for me to do these lives because I am a stay-at-home mom of two very little kiddos, one being a 4-month-old baby. So it is pretty tough to juggle everything, but the challenge is kind of fun. So I have had this topic on my mind for quite a few days now. Been thinking about it. I've been writing down notes. I'm definitely a note taker. Some people, they can jump on a live video and just, everything just flows, and that's not me. But I've also learned that if I take too many notes, I also get lost. Because then I'm just like, okay, can I just read my paper out loud? And no, you don't want to do that because you want to be able to talk like a normal person and not just be reading off a piece of paper. So you got to find that balance, right? So the fear of failing. Okay, so fear is something that is just part of who we are as human beings. We all have fears. We're kind of evolutionarily programmed to have fears. And, those did come in handy, thousands of years ago when a wild animal would be chasing us. You really want to have a healthy fear so you can run away. But in these times, this day and age, we live a pretty cushy life. We're not running away from wild animals. We're just dealing with everyday people, family. So our fear kind of manifests itself in ways that probably it shouldn't. And you wish that it wouldn't, right? Because a lot of times our fear of things that you could say are ridiculous, but it feels really real. It kind of can be debilitating to us and to our success in life. I have always been a perfectionist. I still can remember being a little kid, being a really sore sport when I would play board games with my parents. My parents actually banned Monopoly in our house because they just couldn't stand playing with me, because if I lost, I would cry and throw a fit and completely lose it. And they were just like, okay, we're never playing. I've got something in my eye. Of course, when I'm doing a live video, I've got something in my eye. Anyways, what was I saying? Okay, so yes, I've always been a perfectionist. And back to the story about me playing board games with my parents, I eventually just stopped wanting to play games because I was afraid of losing. I didn't want to lose. It felt so horrible to me, so humiliating to lose, that I just didn't want to play anymore. And how ridiculous is that, right? I know, it sounds so ridiculous. I dropped out of high school my senior year, just a few months shy of graduation, because I was failing, and I just didn't even want to deal with it anymore. I was just like, well, see ya, bye. And then I went off and got my GED. And honestly, our children can teach us so much about ourselves. When we look at them, you kind of see things through fresh eyes. My son Jameson, he is a brilliant kid. He is so smart. He's not even 4, and he's already reading, he's already doing math. Well, there are times where we will ask him math questions that we we know he knows the answer to, but if he's like kind of unsure, if he's not like absolutely positive that he's right, he just won't answer. And we're like, Jameson, we know you know that. And he just gets so mad and won't answer. So that made, like, when I look at that, I'm like, well, that's ridiculous. That, I mean, come on, like, you're a really smart kid, and like, you shouldn't be afraid of saying the wrong answer, because if you say the wrong answer, big deal, right? And it just makes you look at yourself as well, because we look at kids and we think everything is so ridiculous, but that's only because we're older and we can look at them and we've already been through that basic, you know, the basic parts of life, like learning math and things like that. And it just really made me like think about and open my eyes to so many times where fear, or the fear of failing, really stops. It can stop you from achieving success that you really want. And a lot of times your ego kind of just like gets the best of you, and even though there's something that you really want to accomplish, something that you really want to do, you'll talk yourself out of it. You'll come up with all these excuses of why you can't do it, because you're trying to save face like ahead of time. You're so afraid that if you try and fail, that you'll be so upset with yourself or humiliated, embarrassed, what are people gonna think of you, that you just completely put this block up from what if you succeeded? What if you tried your very best and you succeeded? Sometimes we have to really accept the fact that we're not perfect. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. There's no perfect time for anything. And we have to really be okay with not knowing all the answers all the time, because life is a learning experience. Nobody is born knowing how to do everything. Like you might look up to somebody in your field and business and look at them and be like, oh God, well, I could never be like that person, because they're so successful and they've got it all together, and like that is just too intimidating to me. Like I can never get on that level. But do you think that they were born that way? Do you think that they just woke up one day and said, like, I'm gonna be at the top of this company, I am going to be a millionaire, I am going to be success? They didn't just wake up and it happened. Everybody starts at the bottom, and everybody has to learn through experience. But if you're too afraid to even try, then you've already blocked yourself from the get-go. You've already put up that block, and then it's never going to happen. You really have to understand that you are going to fail sometimes. Every successful person has failed like 1,000,000 times. The only difference is that they didn't let that stop them. They fail, or I fail, you fail, we all fail. Like, failing is part of life. How do you think we learn to walk? We fell down 1,000,000 times. Look at your kids, watching them learn how to walk or how to do anything. They fail and fail and fail, but they don't give up. They're like, I'm doing this. I don't care. I'm doing this. And you really should take example from little children, because they don't have the fear of failing, from a super young age. It's kind of like a learned thing that, you're born fearless, and then you develop this fear of failure. You should really just take example from the little ones, and that they keep trying to learn how to walk. And I can assure you, if you fail and you keep getting up and keep going, that eventually you are going to succeed, because it's practice makes perfect. It's that experience. You learn from your experiences. We all do. What else do I have in my notes? I told you I have notes. I'm not reading from them verbatim, but I do have to look down and see what I got here. So I want to share with you the top 4 reasons that people fail. Okay, there's lots of reasons people will fail, but these are the top 4, and I'll tell you why. So number 1 is they're not coachable. So people that don't want to take any advice from somebody that knows what they're doing. If you want to learn how to do something and you want to be successful at it, and somebody that is who has been there before, that knows what they're talking about, is trying to coach you and trying to teach you the correct way, they're saying, okay, like if you want to be successful, do you want to achieve this goal, then you need to do this, this, and this. And then you say, oh no, I got this. I appreciate your advice and everything, but I got this. That's really not a good idea. And that has a high probability of failure right there, is not being coachable. So definitely listen to your mentors. They know what they're talking about. They're not telling you something just to tell you, just to be bossy. They're trying to help you. Number 2, they don't treat this like a business. Some people get into a direct sales business and they just think of it as like a lotto ticket, basically. Like they buy the kit and then they're just like, yay, I bought the kit. Like, I hope something happens. Well, oh my God, I totally hope that I hit the top of the company and I'm a millionaire. Because I see all these success stories. So, I bought the kit but they don't do anything. They just cross their fingers and hope. And it takes a lot more than that. So you got to treat it like a business. You got to get up every day, be consistent, work. Treat it like a business. Number 3, for the top 4 reasons people fail, they're not willing to get uncomfortable. A huge part of not just growth in business, but personal growth, personal development, is getting uncomfortable, getting out of your comfort zone. I remember the first time that I did Facebook Live and I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was gonna pass out. I was just like almost hyperventilating and it was so scary. And this video that I'm doing right now, do you think it was easy for me to log on here and talk to you guys about this topic? No. I actually have no problem logging on and talking about makeup and skincare and Limelight. I love it. I could talk about it all day. When I first started, even talking about makeup was a little scary, just the whole fact of going live, and I conquered that hurdle. And then it's easy for me to talk about Limelight and makeup and all that stuff now. But getting on and really like talking about like deeper issues and kind of trying to like motivate people, motivate myself. I swear this is a pep talk for me as much as it could be for you. I swear. You have to get uncomfortable. You have to step outside of your comfort zone. Whether you want to succeed in business or you just want to have that personal growth, that personal development. Because each step, the higher you climb, and then you look back behind your shoulder and you're just like, wow, I accomplished all that. Like, I was scared to death and I did it anyway. I've had the notes written out for talking to you guys today for a few days now, and I kept coming up with excuses. Well, it's half fear and half excuses. Half of it is fear to come on here and talk about something that is out of my comfort zone. And second of all, it is very difficult for me to get ready, get my makeup on and get in the right mental mindset to talk to Facebook Live because of my kids. My kids are just like so crazy. They make me crazy. My mind is always like whirling around. I feel like I never stop. So, I mean, part of it, I did have a good excuse. And then the other part is I was scared too. I was like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, today's not a good day. I don't have my makeup on today. Oh, whatever it is, you just come up with things. I do it too. I'm calling you guys out on it. You're coming up with excuses of why, you're afraid and why you're too afraid to take that first step because you're so scared of failing. Anyway, I went off on a long tangent. Okay, so number 4, for top 4 reasons people fail. They're not hungry enough. You have to really want it, okay? You have to know why you're doing it. And you have to truly, truly want it and be so hungry for it that you're not going to let your fears stand in your way. The end result has to be more desirable than the fear that you are feeling of failure. Even though it is so scary, it is, I know, I'm on your side. I understand. But if you really, really want it, you are going to have to go for it anyway. And just throw caution to the wind and say, you know what? If I mess up, I mess up. I get scared going on these live videos. I have trouble focusing a lot. I will be in the middle of a sentence sometimes on a Facebook Live and my mind will trail off and I'm like, what was I saying? And then I'm just totally freaking out because I'm live. But you know what? At least I did it, And that's all you can say. Even if you're not happy, even if you fail, because you will fail, but you can always get back up and keep going. Because I promise you, if you keep going, you will succeed. The most successful people on this planet have failed 1,000,000 times. Our kids, before they learn to walk, to talk, to ride a bike, they fell down 1,000,000 times. And then look at them now. Look at us now. We were there too. Imagine how it was when we learned how to walk and talk and all that. It's hard. Life is freaking hard. But we gotta continue on regardless, right? Anyways, I've talked your ear off. I hope you found some of this valuable. And I hope I did a good job because I'm telling you, I have the same fears as you. I really do. And I'm just trying. That's all I can do is try and be better the next day and the next time because practice does make perfect. So I'm Jamie Lee Zadell. I am an independent beauty guide for Limelight by Alcone. And I hope you have a fabulous rest of your evening. I hope you replay watchers write a comment, type a little emoji or something. Let me know that you were watching instead of just lurking silently lurking. Let me know you were watching. I appreciate any likes and comments that you give on any of my videos, and please feel free to share as well. I love when you guys share my videos and get the word out. And I will see you on the flip side. Bye.